According to neuropsychologist Rick Hansen, PhD, this tendency emerged over the millions of years our brains developed, as remembering a predator or other threat was necessary and essential for survival. That helps explain why we tend to overlook positive events in our lives and focus more on the negative. It also explains why it's so compelling to watch or read the news, especially bad news. In Dr. Hansen's words, your brain is like Velcro for negative experiences, but Teflon for positive ones. Children's behaviors can so easily activate the negativity bias because so much is at stake, and the burden of responsibility for the adults in charge is so high. The next time your child or a child you work with triggers you into a less than optimal response, you can blame the negativity bias. Now let's step back for a moment and consider how the negativity bias influences our interactions with children. Since our brains are wired for paying attention to negative experiences over positive ones, when we witness a child doing something that we perceive will decrease their well-being, survival, or safety, it becomes our priority to shift the behavior and protect the child as quickly as possible. This is a natural tendency for well-meaning parents, caregivers, and providers. Understanding this helps those of us who parent and work with behaviorally challenged children perceive why we feel so compelled to act upon children's challenging behaviors as quickly as possible. The negativity bias simply makes it more likely for us to notice children's negative rather than positive behaviors. This is likely a reason parents and caregivers of children with additional needs experience greater levels of anxiety and hypervigilance. We carry an understandable burden of responsibility to protect and nurture our children. The burden gets supercharged under certain conditions because humans are hardwired to look out for negative or threatening events. But we can counteract the negativity bias through our awareness. When we demystify behaviors, we turn them into something we need not fear. When we fear less, we judge ourselves and our children's behaviors less harshly. And then we are that much closer to engaging together in ways that nourish the brain. This is good news, because most parents feel judged most of the time. If we are calmer and less pressed into punitive action, which often compels us to fix a child as soon as possible, we nurture the very tool that holds the most promise for helping our children, ourselves. Parents and caregivers of behaviorally challenged children face constant stress and vigilance. Few things are more threatening to a parent than learning that your child has a diagnosis or disability, that your child is aggressive and harming others, or that your child's mental health is compromised. Unfortunately, too many parents have told me that the unspoken underlying message they receive all too often is that the child's negative behavior is somehow the result of their poor parenting. The desire to make things better, mixed with the prevailing standards and approaches to behavioral challenges, often pits parents and providers against each other in IEPs or other educational meetings. It's useful for us to reflect on the large burden of responsibility we carry to protect the labeled child and those around him.